And we are live. This is Silver Screen Savants. This is my pick. This was my pick last week that moved into this week. We are live with 1982's E.T. It's so adorable. And this is one of my favorite Spielberg movies out of all the besides the Indiana Jones,
Is Jaws up there?
Yes, Jaws is somewhere up there as well. Jaws I have not seen forever. It's been ages, so but I love Jaws. Just the same.
Very good.
I love the score for this film. This is one of my go-to score. John Williams, funny enough, when I did my when I was listening to my Spotify rap of like all the stuff that made it onto my list of every category, John Williams was surprisingly the most played of composers. That's how awesome I go back and I'll like listen to Indiana Jones, Star Wars, anything John Williams has done. I like listening to film scores and music, whether it be him or any other composer. So,
yeah, and I feel like in this movie especially, the score itself really moves the story so much. Like, it really brings out the emotional parts of the movie. It really just, it really gets you into the movie. I love E.T. and I swear, you can ask Anubis, like when we rewatched it, I was just like sobbing like a baby because
God, yeah, you were.
And it's one of his more like understated scores too.
Mm-hmm. I can relate to with the bicycle scene where they're flying as well, just to escape from the bad guys, the government or whatever. It's such an iconic scene. In fact, this is how iconic it is because this is exactly, the one kind of scene that you want in a movie, like a happy, somber, peaceful moment. And I think that there's a lot of good with this movie.
Well, that's so iconic too because it got sort of parodied in Last Action Hero with Arnold Schwarzenegger, where the young kid in that one has a scene where his bike goes up in the air, and they're mimicking the E.T.
He was shot. The logo for Ambient Films.
Yeah, it is. You're right. It's just so amazing that this movie that I know everybody just kind of knows E.T., but I don't think there's a lot of people who really in recent years have just sat down and watched it. And I hadn't watched it in a long time either. And it really took me back to the 80s and me watching it for the first time. And just like, I had the Atari game, I had the E.T. plushie. I've always loved E.T. and all the cute little scenes in it. It hits me right in my heart.
I think my first memory of it, now you mentioned this, is I was about 8 years old or maybe a little bit younger. And I remember a friend going to their house and watching it on VHS way back, before it's like on physical media like DVD, Blu-ray, etc. And I mean, it took me, wow, it's like that impact, that scene where the bicycle riding had such an impact on me then to now still have an impact on me.
I used to get scared of the guys in the hazmat suits when I was younger. They used to scare me.
Well, that was sort of the impression they wanted to give you in the movie because, again, I saw this in the theater when I was 12. So even at 12, there was this like Spielberg trying to make it scarier than it actually is. So you have this.
I do think that was like brilliant, not to get ahead, but what they did with the guy with the keychain that they build up all this dread about him, and then when you finally meet him, it's the complete opposite of what you were expecting.
Hi,
Hey,
Kevin.
what's going on, Kevin? Kevin.
Mhm.
So, when was the first time you remember watching E.T., Anthony?
Once my mom rented it when I was like 4 or 5, and I seen it once on TV like 7 or 8, and this is my first time watching it since.
So it's all what I'm picking up is a lot of us, on this episode, we haven't seen it since we're about kid age, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I like how it is such a popular attraction, like Jaws, how in Back to the Future, how they all 3 films got universal rides. I think that's a cool thing for it. I remember the cool thing about the E.T. ride at Universal is they they show they go to E.T.'s planet in the ride, and they show his species of aliens and stuff, all these characters. And the thing I like about the E.T. ride is at the end of the ride, the animatronic of E.T. says your name.
Aww.
Yes, it's still around to this day, in fact. Still active running.
Kevin's comment, I can't really comment on that one because I've yet to see Close Encounters the whole way through.
I am the same way.
Wow.
I ordered it on DVD, but about halfway through the DVD just froze.
Oh, shit.
That is one. Matter of fact, that's one I have never seen. Also,
so good.
It's
so
good. The end with the boo 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 boo.
It's a completely different kind of alien movie.
Yeah, I actually enjoy Close Encounters more than E.T.
I don't know. I have a soft spot for E.T., but I don't know if any of you guys have ever seen the movie Batteries Not Included. It was
remember that, the little UFO aliens.
Yeah, the little like robot aliens. Oh, so that's another one where it's more geared towards kids. But it's just really sweet, and then they're trying to save them and get them back to the planet. But I think my favorite part about E.T., honestly, is, you have kids, and kids are, they're open-minded and they're innocent, and it didn't, like, you saw how the adults were. They were like, you gotta round up ET. They want to study him. Even at the end, towards the end, Elliott's like, "You're gonna cut him up, aren't you?" And that's what but the kids, they really just wanted to be ET's caretaker and friend, and that just really, really, like, what do you think we're doing with the aliens that we're finding for real? If you believe in that type of stuff. So I'm not saying it's aliens, DJ Anubis.
Not saying it's aliens, but it's aliens.
Mm-hmm.
It's real at its core. It's really a coming of age story.
Yeah,
it really is. Like E.T. was like Elliott's best friend, and that's when I started really bawling. He's like, "Go, stay."
So one part that really got me was the frog dissection scene.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, I have nothing against like doing that in biology class or whatever, but not when the animal's still alive. That was just next level messed up.
I think it was a little bit different back then because I didn't take a biology class until the 90s. So this is, a good 12 years after ET. And all of ours were like preserved.
Mhm.
They were already
Formaldehyde.
Yeah, and formaldehyde. So, but I also think it's partially for the effect where, at that point, E.T. and Elliott, like, because E.T.'s, race is like empaths and they all have to survive by being together. And he, like, bonded and imprinted on Elliott immediately. So, like, I think that really raised Elliott's, like, kind of nurturing and empathic qualities internally. So, like, he's feeling how the frogs are feeling, and then he starts his little, dump them out, and all the frogs run away. And I think that was, I don't know if they did it like that back then in high school. Anubis can kind of comment on that because he was in high school in the 80s. But, like, for me, when I was in biology, we had, like, formaldehyde preserved. So it might have just been for dramatic effect.
I can show this on screen. Kevin just sent me a picture of the reference here.
Oh, let me see.
Cool. So this is E.T.'s, right? E.T. species is actually in Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. They're right here in the top corner. Thank you, Kevin, for sending it. I got it. That's a really cool picture. I like that.
I love that.
And then you see there's I don't know if this is actually in the movie or not, or if that.
It's when they were going trick-or-treating.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, that's right. There was a Yoda.
Thank you, Kevin. Appreciate that.
I do remember the ETs in episode 1. Yes, I do remember that.
That is so awesome. Well, I am so glad that they're part of the
I forgot about
Republic. Oh,
because it happened so fast. Like,
because that's when they're doing that boat, right?
Yeah.
Like, and then they kind of like
they're all gathered.
pan around, and you see all the different.
Do you guys think the special effects hold up to this day in this movie?
It's not too bad, honestly. Like,
yeah, I think it's still good.
When he
Because-
was,
I think they were.
there were a few lingering shots when he was sick that they didn't hold up as well, but for the most
Right.
part, they shot it good, they lit it good, and it doesn't really give it a chance to show its age.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the CGI they were using wasn't that great, but overall, like the practical effects of the robotics of ET and stuff like that were really good.
I like how this comment that Kevin just said. It says that means Earth is in the same universe as well, except they are in a galaxy far, far away.
I don't.
Hey,
It's possible. I believe in aliens, and you can get me with
Not
the
saying it's
crazy hair
aliens.
guy, and I can put my little calculations behind me, but there have been actual confirmed things that scientists in the US government, they just don't have explanations, and they can't say it's aliens, but they can say we have no explanation for it. So, and we can get into that on, like, if you want to do like a alien conspiracy podcast with me, I've got like books and movies and documentaries that we can talk about. But honestly, if aliens are ET, I want ET to come down here and I will be his friend. And I will do my little finger with him and we can become empaths together, and then I can cry when he leaves. But a lot of the technology that you see, like, that are like traditional flying saucers and stuff, the like the reverse gravity drive and things like that, it's documented by scientists and the US government, and like they've seen it. They don't know where it's coming from. So it could be aliens, it could be the Russians, who knows?
Yeah. I like that take, though, how you said it.
I want E.T.
What's up, Brony?
Hi, Brony.
So Anubis, what was your favorite part of E.T.? Because I think I know what it is while we were watching it, but you tell me and I'll see if I'm right.
Well, a lot of times, my favorite moment was when the mother goes up to the room and he's like hiding in the dolls and he's got the wig on. And, she doesn't really think twice about E.T. being in there. But I don't know, man. I have to really think because, like, there's a lot of cool parts. I mean, obviously, what was funny, though, is when we were watching it, it reminded me, because I hadn't seen it in years, but it reminded me because how big, we were talking about how big Reese's Pieces became at the time, because that's the big candy that he was eating. Yeah, so I just remember it was like that whole year was nuts. Reese's Pieces, commercials everywhere, and E.T. and all that.
I think when we were watching it, the part that you laughed the hardest was when he was raiding the refrigerator and drinking the beer, and like E.T.'s just like.
I vaguely remember that time my mom rented the VHS. I vaguely remember there being some kind of Reese's Pieces commercial before the movie.
Oh, I bet there was.
Yeah.
I bet
I think there was also.
I bet you they did like a little thing where you rent the movie, you get like a pack of Reese's Pieces, Oh, God, I miss video rental. I mean, Alvin, you're a little bit younger than us. Did you get to do like video rentals and video game rentals? Because that was huge.
Yeah. So I got to do it with the 64 when they had Blockbuster and movie gallery. I don't know if that was a chain or not, but they had a movie gallery. It was like a Blockbuster where you could rent movies, video games, whatever. So yes, I did get to experience that with the video games. I got to do. I mean. At one point, I had the Star Wars VHSs also. So, yeah, I have had a fond, memory. Sadly, I wish that was still around today, the rental stuff. But we're just so advanced with technology that it's like.
Remember the video stores? They would have 5 movies, $5 for 5 days.
Mm-hmm.
And then you had like your little punch card, and then like they'd punch it, and it's like at the end you get like either a free rental or a free pound of candy or something.
Yeah.
That was the best. Now, granted, I'm not saying I do not enjoy. I love the convenience of streaming. Anubis and I jumped on the whole streaming bandwagon way before anyone else. I remember my mom and dad bought us for Christmas like the very first Roku that ever existed. And this is like back in when Netflix was still doing like the DVDs that you would send back. And I kept telling my parents I wanted to get a Roku because you could stream things before like what it is now. Like you can do it on your phone, you can do it on TVs come built in, but I still do feel like there could be a place for like a hangout and you can go find VHSs or DVDs, because let's be honest, not everything has made it to streaming. Not everything from VHS made it to DVD or Blu-ray. Like
it's just not the same experience as just walking around one of those. It was like, yeah, it's convenient. You can just click of a button, find what you want to watch, but it was almost like an adventure going, because it was a whole experience, and just the way those stores were lit, that they all seemed to have the air conditioner set to the same temperature, and even the smell of them.
You could smell the popcorn, and it had like a very distinct feeling. Did you guys, when you were younger, and I think the public library still is really good with lots of different resources, but I remember, I'm talking like when I was in elementary and middle school, I remember either my mom or my girlfriend lived 2 doors down from me, and we were always back and forth staying with each other. We would go to the library, and you could just browse. And the library had VHSs you could rent for free and these were just things that most of them were not even like current or popular. And I think that we discovered a lot of like, I remember that's how I saw Carrie for the first time, was because it was for free for rental, right? So my girlfriend and I were like, oh yeah, we're gonna rent this. And do you know, Anubis, like what Carrie the rating was? Because we were like
talking about Carrie, the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, the Stephen King. She's talking about
R, I think.
Do you think was it really R? Because I don't know, but they allowed like under 17 people to rent it from the library.
Well, the library is not as strict with that. You could have walked out there with a fucking porno for all
they didn't have porn in the library, but you know what I mean. We were just
they had the Kama Sutra shit in there. I would know.
My local library, they had a VHS section.
Yeah.
And I think that's the beauty of it. Was I think we discovered things that we never would have thought to look at just by browsing. And I think E.T. is kind of part of that, because now, listen.
Yeah, Carrie's rated R.
It is rated R. Yeah, they allowed minors to rent Carrie from the library.
Shame.
But I think E.T. is kind of part of that, because you got to think this is back in '82, right? And rentals were really strong up until the early 2000s. And I think that's E.T. kind of kept coming around, and everybody kind of got their kids to watch it. And it's a family movie that like even adults can enjoy, kind of on the same wavelength as like a Toy Story, where people enjoy it as adults and as kids. And I think that has a lot to, I mean, it's a great movie. It's got a wonderful score. It's an amazing story and director, but just the whole idea that, generations of people have come and watched this movie. And like, I just have so many warm feelings about E.T. I love E.T. Clearly.
Yeah, I love E.T. as well. It's when I watched it last time to get prepped and stuff, it took me back to my childhood memories where I got to see it for the first time also. So it brought a lot of fun memories with. It takes you back to those memories. I think E.T. is going to be 60 here in a couple of years. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, it's close to that in that 60-year frame for a movie. Let me do the math. I got to do the math.
Well, what year did it come out?
It came out in '82. I was born in '80, so that means it's 43.
So it's almost 45. Crazy to think. And funny enough, they did a Christmas special for E.T., but I've never seen that.
I haven't either. How do we find that?
I didn't know about that.
Yeah, so the E.T., it was a Christmas. Was it a commercial or was it Christmas?
Well, I know, like...
Oh, there's a TV special that came out in 2019. Sorry about that.
Well, there was a documentary that Anubis and I watched a while ago. I don't know how many years. I mean, like 5 years ago, about the E.T. Atari game and how it was pushed so heavily after the movie, and they wanted to like get it out, and it turned out to be like a big flop. I mean, I remember the game, and I remember I loved it, and I played it all the time. But like, they had overproduced the E.T. Atari game to the point where they couldn't sell it, so they just started like dumping it I think it was in New Mexico, in a dump and burying it. And this guy was so determined to find like the dump site of all these ET games. And they think they kind of found, but they found some of them. But I don't know. I like the game, but I was a child when I played it, so that could like skew my. If I had an Atari now and I played it, who knows? I mean, God, do you think there are any working Ataris out there anymore?
Oh, there are.
There's even people that have modded them where you can hook them up to HDMI.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so in fact, speaking of Atari, they've got one coming out that's a like a newer version of it that, like Anthony said, I've seen a YouTuber who's a gamer, and I seen a video about it. So yes, Atari they're trying something with the HDMI thing for sure, like Anthony is saying. I think his name was Topher A. That's his name, and they are doing. He has the Atari, and you can. It's like a Pac-Man edition, and you can plug it into the HDMI, like it's high def.
I had the old school wood grain Atari. It was wood grain on the top and black around, and then you like put it in the top, and it had like little flicks to turn it on, like a flick.
Yeah, there's like 3 of them. Yeah.
And we had the Intellivision as well. I don't know if anybody else had an Intellivision. That was like a deep cut kind of video game.
You know what's funny when you compare the Atari graphics with the NES graphics? They're both 8-bit systems, but the NES just had a better processor.
Oh, so you think that's why like the games were a little bit more sharper and popular and faster?
I was curious about it one time, and I did some research, and I was wondering like how many bits is the Atari, and it turned out it was an 8-bit system. And then I'm like, okay, why did Nintendo have better graphics if they're both 8-bit? And there were a few other things, but the main thing is boiled down to is how much more advanced the processor in the NES was.
Yeah, because you got to think too, like, some of the Atari games, like, what did they have? They had Pac-Man, Space Invaders, E.T., just, your basic Galaga, right? Like your basic early on games. But then when Nintendo came out, they started like The Legend of Zelda, for what it was back in the 80s and how complex that game was, and it was just like a cartridge. That was insane. And it actually, like, this is before video games had like a memory system or the ability to save. It saved on the cartridge. Like, I don't know how they did that.
There was a little battery. The cartridge had a little battery in it that allowed it to save.
It was insane. I was just like, but that again, like you're saying, this is like the difference between the two systems. They're both 8-bit, but like it's like Nintendo just kicked it up a notch.
My first system was actually Sega.
Genesis, or like the Sega?
Genesis. Yeah.
Because there was a Sega 8-bit as well.
No, mine was Genesis.
Yeah, Sonic the Hedgehog.
I just saw.
I think the first game I got probably was like either one of the NFL ones or Mortal Kombat.
I like Toe Jam and Earl myself.
Toe Jam and Earl is still popular for
really?
I think a pretty common game when people request it on certain game streams. Like retro. So.
I bet you we could find some people doing like the ET gameplay.
I bet you still has it somewhere.
Check it after the stream. I sent you a photo of the save battery and what let them save.
Oh, you did? Let me see. Ooh, he sent me a photo. that is high tech. And you got to think, this is 40 years ago when The Legend of Zelda came out. Like, that's really forward thinking for a game system. My parents, they would joke, like, the very, very first game system that was out there was Pong, and that's all you had was Pong.
If you were lucky, like, it would have a few other variations that just boiled down to the colors were a little different.
I would really like to see, and I don't know if this was ever done, but like, I think if they made a more intricate ET game, because ET could be like, I don't want to say an RPG, but it could be like a story type game where ET has to go and do his quests, and ET has to like build his phone to phone home, and then do it now with, like, you could do it on your freaking your phone. Like, the stuff that we do on our phones now, I would love to see a new ET game get kind of the love that the old game didn't get.
You could switch between playing as ET and Elliott.
That would be great.
Yes. What would be cool is if I don't know if Williams would allow it, but you could have the score play in the background as well.
That would be really cool. And it would kind of like follow like the part of the story where they are, and then have the music to back it up. That would be really cool.
You could have Gertie in it, and like you could have Michael, Gertie, Michael, and I think also this movie was the movie that introduced me to Dee Wallace, but I think she was in other stuff that I had seen around the time. I can't remember. Well, yeah, I take that back. I saw earlier stuff of her in it also. Then, like, was she in Gremlins? I can't remember.
Who?
Dee Wallace. She's not, is she?
She might be, but I don't think so.
Oh, okay. So,
but she's in The Howling. She's in a lot of she's in Cujo. She did a lot of Stephen King stuff.
Yeah. So like, I saw her also later when I'm an adult and stuff. I saw her in Tales of Ice, the original.
Yeah.
So I mean,
there's a lot of familiar faces that went on to have good careers. Henry Thomas, obviously, Drew Barrymore.
Yo, baby Drew Barrymore.
C. Thomas Howell. Erica Laniak actually went on to be a Playboy Playmate and do Baywatch later on. So,
which one was?
They say she's the pretty girl. I don't know what that really means. It might be one of the friends of the family or something. I don't know.
Like maybe it's school or something.
But probably the most notable moment for her is in Under Siege when she's coming out of the kid topless.
So we had Gertie right here. This was Barrymore.
Yeah. Baby Drew Barrymore.
And
Dee
this
Wallace,
is Wallace. E.T. is just, I like the eyes.
Perfection.
I like how I didn't. Now here's a question: do you guys want, if they ever were to do E.T., would you like a legacy sequel? Do you think
it just needs to be the one film?
Yeah, I don't think there's any necessary. I mean, someone's going to end up doing it just because they're assholes, but I don't think it's a film that really needs to be redone. I mean, it's not a film I watch a lot.
Well,
but
I think he's saying like a sequel. I see what you're saying, Anubis, like a remake.
Where E.T. comes home.
Yeah, maybe like E.T. going to home.
No, because the only way you're going to do a legacy is if you have him come back to Earth and revisit Elliott. And in some ways, that's kind of an endearing story, but you'd have to be a very good writer to make that work. Like, it's not the same thing as like doing Blade Runner or Blade Runner 2049, where that works pretty well. But to do an E.T. legacy movie, that's tough. You better have a really good writer for that.
Well, what about what they did with Winnie the Pooh when they did that that movie with Ewan McGregor when he was Christopher Robin as an adult?
I think I know what you're talking about. I think It's just been.
I actually thought it was a really good movie. I can't remember what the name was, but like Ewan McGregor was an adult.
Did I see it?
I think so.
It's
And Winnie the Pooh like came to find him, and
Finding
he was-
Christopher or something.
yeah, I think it is like Finding Christopher Robin, and that was really good. And I was a big Winnie the Pooh fan. I read all the books when I was a kid. I watched the.
Well, I like Pooh and Honey, blood and honey.
I'm talking about.
You're talking about.
regular-
You're talking about Christopher Robin from 2018.
Yes.
Name of it.
And it was sweet and
Mhm.
endearing because you've got adult Christopher Robin dealing with adult problems, but then Winnie the Pooh finds Christopher Robin and like drags him back into like his Winnie the Pooh world, and it was very, very heartwarming, and you would have to do it the right way. So yeah, like maybe ET species doesn't age the same way that we do because we're on Earth and he's, in his homeland, and he comes back to Earth. And I mean, at this point, Elliott's got to be like 55, possibly. And E.T. finds Elliott, and because they already had that empathic connection, he's able to find him and join him for a reunion. That I could see if you did it right, and then I would cry if you did it right.
Mhm.
So I might be mistaken, but the kid who played Elliott, what was his name?
Henry Thomas.
Yeah, Henry Thomas.
So he didn't really act after E.T., did he?
He did. The first thing that comes to my mind is Suicide Kings years later, but he's in a shit ton of films like Cloak and Dagger, Suicide Kings. Like I said, he was in Legends of the Fall,
Okay, so maybe
Fire in the Sky.
Okay, so maybe I'm just mistaking him for someone else.
Probably,
then.
probably.
Okay. But yeah, like if he's still an actor and he's game for having
Oh yeah, he was in Haunting of Hill House too. So he's in a lot of stuff.
Really? Who was he in Haunted Hill House?
Trying to remember
Who was he in Legend of the Fall? Which
He was
one of
in
the
that. He was in that latest Pet Cemetery prequel movie. The
don't think I saw
Bloodline.
that.
He played in Legends. He played Samuel Ludlow,
Oh, so he played the younger brother. Okay.
and then I think in Haunting he was like one of the kids.
He was also in Doctor Sleep.
Yeah,
He was in Doctor Sleep.
Yes, he was the bartender. He was Jack. He was the dad, like a ghost, I guess. I don't know. I've never. See, the thing is, I never saw Doctor Sleep yet. So,
Have you seen The Shining?
yes, I've seen The Shining before. I saw the one that Anthony's real familiar with.
so did I.
I've seen the TV.
I'm not a fan of the Jack Nicholson one.
I've seen the TV version of The Shining. There's a TV.
I like the book too much, and it just changed too much.
I understand that. I do. I've got a couple of movies like that.
Like, I'll say why I think Jack Nicholson did good in the role. One of the things with that is it just irks me in the book how nuanced and layered and multidimensional of a character he is. And in the movie, he's just this very one-note character.
So he kind of just took it to the extreme. Like he instead of like, because I see what you're saying. He went from 0 to 60 like overnight, basically.
Yeah. Where in the book you get to understand this character's struggle, what makes him tick, and you get to see him struggling to keep it together until he finally snaps.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say for the only one thing you could do, you would have to recast E.T. if you did E.T. in a new movie if you did a legacy sequel also, because the original actress is long gone. So that's another, question. How do you do, do you do, like a robotic like voice? You know what I mean? Like,
here's something you can kind of like do if they were to do a legacy sequel. What if there's like some kind of like residual link between them, and
that's what I want.
Elliott were to get diagnosed with cancer, and it would be E.T. coming back and just doing the thing and like curing his cancer at the end.
Or maybe they're still linked and he feels like Elliott getting sick, so he comes back.
Well, that's what he's talking about.
Yeah.
One
Comes
idea.
back and touches his finger.
Like E.T. heals him, he doesn't know about it, and you have what you think is going to be the emotional scene when he goes back home again. And you could have like, I'm glad I got to see you one last time, friend. And the final scene of the movie is him going to the doctor and just having the doctor perplexed. Well, I don't even know how to tell you this, but your cancer is completely gone. There's no explanation. In that, like the big emotional scene where he's been spending the whole movie living with a death sentence, and now that death sentence is lifted.
Yeah.
The ET commercial came out in 2019 during the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. It was an Xfinity. It's a 4-minute commercial called A Holiday Reunion.
Do you have it?
I can get it after stream.
Okay. Yeah, I think we just wrote the legacy sequel for ET because like I'd watch that.
And they still sell that Atari. It's on Amazon. I just found a link for that Atari also.
I need to get it. I'm feeling nostalgic. I want to play some Pitfall, some Pac-Man, some Burger Time.
It's a Pac-Man edition is what it actually is. It's a Atari 2600 plus Pac-Man edition console, game and wireless joystick. And Deep Silver.
Does it come loaded with games?
Yes, you can buy games and play them on there. Play retro games just like you remember them on a system upgrade for today. Play both Atari 2600 and 7800 games on this 2600 console, compatible with everything in the Plus platform as well as with most original accessories and cartridges. It's
so different.
So the cool thing about it is it's HDMI output, so you can connect instantly to modern TVs with HDMI output and widescreen mode. So you could play it on your TV. It's like the Switch where you could play that on the TV in a sense.
So is it wireless like the Switch?
I don't know if it's wireless or not, but it's
That's
really
cool
gimmick.
I really kind of want to play ET. Like, I gotta get that. Is ET on that? I mean,
you could probably get the cartridge for it.
So they still do cartridges. That's what I was wondering, because like everything now, it's so different. Like, what?
Oh, I was telling you. So the Hershey Company profits rose 65% due the films during the film's prominent replacement of Reese's Pieces. 65%.
Well, Reese's Pieces are delicious.
That's insane.
But E.T. said Reese's.
All because a cute little alien was eating them.
He is. God.
I think I'm thinking about this. I think this is the first Spielberg movie that I got to experience at the time, because I think Jaws was later for me.
Jaws was definitely later for me too.
I think E.T. was my first movie experience.
I don't know. Anubis saw Jaws in the theater when he was way too young, and it scared him. So
still love it though.
Mm-hmm.
I I'm trying to think. I think you're right because I think I saw E.T. Yeah, before any other Spielberg.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, in '82 I was 2, so I'm sure I saw E.T. I know, like as a kid, because I had the plushie and everything. But I'm sure I saw it on VHS as a kid. But like, you know, Indiana Jones and all came out during that time, but I'm little, so I really didn't watch Indiana Jones until I grew up a little bit, and it was, you know, just by renting VHSs and stuff. I think I'm with you, Olvin. I honestly think that was my first Spielberg movie too.
Mm-hmm.
I think my first Spielberg would have been Jaws.
Were you about the same age as Anubis, or when you saw it, or
I
were you...
was probably around maybe 4 years old.
Mm-hmm.
But I was real young because, like I said, I seen it on I forget whether I mentioned it in my Jaws room when we did the Jaws discussion, but I seen it and I liked it, and like that year my mom got me Jaws 3 and 4 on VHS for Christmas. Granted, they're not 2 of the best, but when you're that young, you don't care.
You're just
Right.
like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Was that Jaws was your first Spielberg, Anubis?
You know, probably because it's like 5, so I saw it at the drive-in.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, you've lived this.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think. You think E.T. still holds up to this day, though, as a movie?
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I think it probably does if you have young people, like young kids. Like, I don't think they'll have a problem with this. As you're older, like I said, I think Anthony kind of touched on it a little bit. Like, for me, if I look at stuff that Spielberg's done, like in terms of like stuff like this, I would go with Close Encounters over this one, just because it's probably a little bit more mature. This is more of a kids movie, so at the time that I saw it, it made sense. But now it's not something I watch a lot because it's all kid driven.
But you were about the age of the older brother in the movie when you saw it.
Yeah.
So like, just think of some of the fun scenes that they had, like when he's driving the van, he's like, I've never driven forward. So like when you saw it, you could place yourself in the movie. You know, you could place yourself like,
I know, because like when I saw it as 12, like I wasn't really parallel myself with the brother. I was pairing myself with Henry Thomas's character.
oh really, with little Elliott?
Yeah, because I was doing what you were doing the other night. I was crying my ass off in the theater.
Really? Did you cry?
Not this time. Now it doesn't do anything for me. But
Oh, it does it for me. I didn't realize it was gonna do it. He's giving me shit while I'm watching this movie. I'm like,
well, dude, I'm like sitting there and she turns around. It's like just pouring out her face. And I'm like, wow. I haven't seen you cry like that since like Sweet November.
I was like, they're best friends.
Not only did the movie make me feel sad in places, but it also made me feel sad for that simpler world that ain't around anymore. I'm not gonna, when it was over, like I went to my room depressed.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
Well, it's kind of true.
That's the magic of movies, though, that it can have that effect on you.
It kind of whisks you away. I remember we were watching the new Stranger Things that just came out, and there's like a scene where there's the girl gets like a new radio, and I turned around and I said to Anubis, I said, I had that radio when I was a kid, like, and it just, you know, the nostalgia just kind of gets you. So when you're watching and you're just kind of, because it's different. I even said the same thing, Anthony, like Elliott, how old was Elliott? Like, I wasn't quite sure what his age was, like 11 or 12, maybe? Because remember when he first brought E.T. home, he was like faking sick so he could stay home. And then the mom just let him be home by himself. And I'm like, he's kind of young to be home by himself while mom's at work and big brother's at school and little sister's at school.
According to Google, he would have been 10 years old.
Yeah, so he's 10 home by himself, like on purpose, allowed. Like, you know, it was different because, again, when I was 10, there were times I would come home from school and I would be alone, and it's just like not like that anymore. The rule was just don't burn the house down and don't get into trouble. Don't open the door for strangers. Like, I don't know if that's a better time or if it's just a different time.
Uh-huh.
What do you think, Anubis? Because you're the oldest. Were you ever like a latchkey kid where you like? Did you ever hear? You've never heard that term?
Latchkey?
Latchkey kid, where you have a key, you're by yourself because your parents are working. They call it. Like you come home after school by yourself.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I've talked about this. You know, I used to walk. I sound like the parents now. Used to walk like a mile through heavy snow to school, and that's the thing, though. I was actually talking with your mom about this because nowadays, when I see the buses that go around here and they go like block to block or whatever, back when I was growing up, you had to go walk to a meeting point and then everyone got on the bus there. Now you can't do that because people can just snatch you up. Like you're gone. And so it's a lot different world now than it was back then.
And he grew up in Colorado too. So like they would make you go to school when there was a foot of snow on the ground.
It wouldn't be as bad as of a foot of snow, but where I grew up in New Jersey, it had to be a pretty good amount of snow for them to so much as delay it, let alone cancel school.
Well, the funnier thing was, I remember one year, and I had to be about, oh my God, like 8 or 9. And my mom sent me to school, and like it was far, like it was about a mile at least, and I'm young. And what did you do?
My the thing rolled in. I was trying to like.
Well, anyway,
keep talking.
It was a blizzard out, so like I'm looking at outside. I'm like, Mom, are you sure I got school today?
Uh-huh.
She's like, they didn't say it was canceled, so I started walking. I got there, the doors were closed and locked. There wasn't anybody around. And by the time I got back, I was so mad at my mom. Like I remember walking in, I was like, they weren't open, Mom. And she's like, yeah, I know. They announced it after you left.
You couldn't come get me. I remember.
Your car come get you.
No, I just went there and came back, and I was like, Jesus Christ, I was so miserable.
I remember my junior year of high school. I don't know who did it and how they did it, but someone hacked the school system. There was a 45-minute delay. Well, that's what it officially was, but someone hacked the system and it was pinged as a 2-hour delay, so everyone came to school 2 hours late.
Mm-hmm.
God, don't you remember like watching on TV and they would have it like scrolling at the bottom?
Yeah.
Like,
are you gonna mention my school yet?
Well, Baltimore schools are closed.
I remember one time we were waiting for that, and I was like maybe 5 years old, and I just didn't want to go to school. And we had a box of Miracle Grow on the back porch, and I'm like, wait a minute, Miracle Grow makes plants grow bigger. Maybe if I throw this in the snow, it'll give more snow and school will be canceled. So I just threw the whole bag of Miracle Grow out into the front yard.
Oh my god, that's funny.
One thing I'm now thinking with a lot of the cast still living, they could do a reunion, like a reunion special with all the cast still living for ET.
Oh, that would be really great. And then they could like really do kind of like a deep dive and give some like behind the scenes stuff and catch up with everyone. I'd like that.
Mm-hmm.
At least if not like a movie, just do like a reunion documentary.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. Like, do a documentary style of a reunion for ET, because it's so wonderfully done still.
I agree. I love ET. I love it. I want an ET plushie now. I want a new ET plushie, baby, for Christmas. Anubis.
We have Grogu.
Yeah, I know you have Grogu, but I want ET. Do they have ET plushies?
I'm sure they do.
Or she wants this one up here. I don't know if you can see little up in the top corner.
Did they have like a?
I can't see that one. Who is it?
Gizmo. Gizmo's up on the top shelf. But funny thing is, he dances like.
Oh really?
Yeah, there's a kid robot one for $16.99.
There you go. Anthony was telling you something.
There you go. You see that, Scott or Anubis?
Yeah. It's like a hairless rat.
Mm-hmm. I love hairless rats.
Do we want to put our scores for this?
What are we doing it out of?
10. So you give your final thoughts and then you give a rating. So let's start with Anthony.
I seen this when I was a kid, and this is my first time seeing it since then. So it's one that I've definitely, because I don't, even though I remembered liking it when I seen it, I don't have that same level of nostalgia. And I'd have to definitely see it a couple more times, but I'll go like a 9.5 as of now.
Neko.
Being as I have all the fond memories and I have great nostalgia for it, and I bawled my eyes out watching it like last week when we watched it. This is a 10 out of 10 for me. Like I love E.T. and I'm so happy that I got to be on this with you, because I mean, there's movies that I've seen that we talk about, and I'm like, that's good, it's good. But this is a 10 out of 10. We talked about the score and how it just really moves the movie. We talk about like, you really feel the emotions of E.T. and the kids, and it just, to me, like, I love it. It's something I forgot that I loved as much as I did until I watched it last week. So it's been a while since I watched it. We watched it last week. I cried again, and Anubis laughed at me.
And I bet it's something you'll go back eventually, down the road
100%.
and rewatch it again.
Absolutely.
So you want to make him cry, just put in -1.
Yeah. I don't remember. Did you cry at -1?
Yes.
You did?
Especially at the end when he found her and he's like runs to the hospital. He's like he does that like stop. And he's like
It was fun to revisit this. I hadn't seen it really since actually when I saw it in the theater, so that had to be a long time ago.
But that proves, since you haven't seen it in so long, it had an impact on your mind.
Well, of course, back then. But I think also, like Anthony said, like the nostalgia is not really there with me anymore with it, because of all the Spielberg films I've seen, it's not really high on the list as ones that I watched the most. But it's still a good movie. Acting is good, obviously, a lot of great actors in there, and score is great and all that. But it's probably more around like 8.5 for me overall.
Whereas which Spielberg movie would be a 10?
Jaws.
Jaws, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, maybe.
Close Encounters would be probably like more like a 9.0 or 9.5 would be in there.
I kind of want to watch Close Encounters because it does have that whole like aliens.
I've actually seen The Devil's Tower. It's cool.
I need to order that movie again so I can actually watch it.
The Devil's Tower, the mountain that he was building.
Oh! Wait! What? Where is it?
Wyoming.
I haven't been that far west. Well, actually, I have been to California, but like I've never
I've
been.
been to Cali, but it is this far.
The DVD I ordered, that was actually the scene where it froze and stopped working when he was sculpting the tower out of the mashed potatoes.
Oh no!
All right, so now seriously, after this, I'm totally watching Close Encounters because I think what is the name of the guy with
Richard Dreyfuss.
No, like the aliens guy where
I don't know his name.
He's got like
he's on a History Channel.
Yeah, he's on that show, the Ancient Alien show. Yeah, that is totally Close Encounters. Like the whole scene, everybody's like,
I'm not saying it's aliens.
I'm not saying it's aliens, but it's aliens. All right, sorry, I hijacked all that.
Right.
Sorry, Anubis.
Alvin's train.
Okay, I thought you. Okay. E.T. is an amazing, awesome movie with a fun score, likable characters. This is one of my favorite Spielberg movies. I highly recommend it. 10 out of 10.
Yay! Team 10! Team 10! You are just jealous. You're jealous that we have a heart and we have empathy for the little alien.
I will
Hey, what's up, John?
Hey.
Hey, John.
Hi, John.
I am really happy that we got to talk about ET and we kind of like expanded. We're talking about video games and systems. And
Well, I don't think you can't talk about ET without talking about the game because that was like such a big deal, especially when we watched the doc about it where they had to bury.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like they buried it in a dump, and the guy was so determined to find the burial site. That was just blowing my mind.
It's one of those movies where you just can't. If you were alive in the good old days, you can't help but reminisce about them when talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
I love the good old days. I think of my grandparents' house and the wood paneling and the linoleum flooring, and that's where I watched E.T. in that house. Absolutely.
Sitting on a carpet 3 a.m. watching an old CRT TV.
With the wood, all around it.
I actually got one of those right next to me right here.
I'm so jealous. It probably weighs 300 pounds.
Yeah, it makes a decent shelf, and 2, it weighs a ton. That's why I haven't gotten rid of it yet.
It's a piece of furniture.
You wouldn't want to go for upcoming content.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Anthony.
Well, tomorrow I will be joined by this man here and Kevin Lambert from the entertainment headquarters.
Oh, very nice.
4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We will be discussing Peter Jackson's King Kong for the 25th anniversary. In addition to that, I got my Godzilla-thon continuing the 15th on the 41st anniversary. My Return of Godzilla review is fixing to launch, and after that I'll be doing a review of 1985. And this is in the future, but me and Mr. Big Bad Wolf, we started reading a book trilogy about werewolves called High Moor, and I had mentioned I might do a video discussing this, and he said he liked that idea because he wants to talk about it too when he finishes. So I'm probably going to do a live stream discussion with him discussing the trilogy when we both finish it.
And I think you mentioned it to me also.
Yeah,
So that-
so it's
I love
really
that.
good. And I'd suggest read it, especially if you want like 80s nostalgia, because like the bulk of the first book is set in 1986.
I love reading. You can ask Anubis. There are piles of books all over this house.
Hold on.
I'll just pick up a book and start reading. So I'll have to check out those books.
Right here,
He's showing it to us.
this is the second book.
Oh, that's a cool looking book. What's the name of it?
This
High Moor.
the series is High Moor. This is book 2, Moonstruck.
They're on Amazon Kindle, so you can just get them digitally also.
Oh no, I'm
Yeah.
a book purist. I want books. I
And
want all the books.
without getting into spoilers, like the title Moonstruck, it's not just a title, it's actually something significant to werewolf lore in the books.
Oh, cool.
Listen,
Very
you'll see there's a silver bullet reference in there. There's a scene in a cabin that's very reminiscent of Dog Soldiers. And there's even some stuff that it clearly drew from The Howling. So if you love those werewolf movies, get these books. They're a good time.
You got me interested enough that I'm gonna probably pick them up eventually.
Well, it's funny because I kept thinking if I saw a movie or saw a name of a movie like that, there's not one out there, but there was somebody on Reddit who says,
Oh, there's a Terminator reference as well.
let's make a petition for a movie or miniseries adaptation of High Moor book by series by Graham Reynolds.
Oh,
They
really?
need to.
I like the cover art of the wolves. That's my kind of werewolf. So
I mean, I can read it to you, Anubis. I know you like when I read. He likes when I read out loud because I do all the voices and stuff. I don't sound like a school teacher, but I do. Like, I'll read and he'll just sit there and listen. And this is kind of nerdy, but like we've done this before where we'll just sit and read together and I'll read to him and he'll just sit and I'm happy to be reading. And
yeah, it's almost like therapy. I'm just laying there.
I love it. We haven't done that in a while. We're going to have a nice reading day.
Oh, go on Amazon.
Wolfie said,
Order the trilogy, and you can make a whole event out of it.
Put that up right now, Alvin.
That's not near as funny though. Your niece.
Oh,
She saw our video where you did I've got toys.
Oh, did she? It made it to YouTube or TikTok or whatever. Oh my god. Yeah. Anubis can go to bed without Mommy Neko reading, but he enjoys a nice. I think there have been a couple of books, especially by friends of ours who are authors, that like I enjoy reading, and I am a fast reader. Like I can blow through a book sometimes, and
same.
like, and I don't know if you're like this with me as I am, Alvin, but like I will read multiple books at the same time. So I'll read for a little while, and then like if I want to switch up, I'll read a different book. And my book club book, I have to read that this weekend. It's only like this big, so it's not a big deal. But like with Anubis, he can't focus enough to sit and read. So like if we're reading together, he will totally just like vibe. He's like, oh, what are we reading? And we were reading short stories one night, and it was really a lot of fun. I miss that. Anubis, can we have reading night again, baby? I love you. I love you. No? He hates me.
He hate me.
Oh, did this just turn into the Embarrass Anubis stream?
Must have been.
There is that
Do you want to
bad.
go with your upcoming content, Anubis?
Yeah, so
He's like, yeah, let's just move along.
tomorrow, of course, joining Anthony for the Peter Jackson's King Kong. And then later in the evening, another or so screen Savants pick of this week will be mine. We're doing 1978's. What?
Is it on Sunday? We're doing
I thought you said you wanted it tomorrow.
What's tomorrow?
It's on the calendar for Sunday, so right now.
There's 2 things.
Well, that's because you kept telling me you were putting things on Sunday, but you told me the other day you want to go back to Saturday.
Well, I mean, I can. I mean, it's up to it's whatever. Right now it's on the calendar for Sunday on the.
Okay, well then we'll just move it to Sunday.
Okay.
Movie.
My upcoming content is I'm getting my hair done tomorrow. So.
But also on Sunday,
you didn't see what movie it was going to be.
Yeah,
Sea Gypsies, 1978.
I have no idea. What is that?
It's a rare gem that nobody really has seen. So, but also 3:00 p.m. Tony and I are going to be doing our top 10 of the year, the Ghouls Midnight picks that we've had. We've gone through and figured out which films we hadn't seen before, and we ranked our top 10 out of them. But we'll have some runners up and stuff like that. But
what's tomorrow?
Sunday.
Okay.
At 3. Yeah.
Is that going to be live?
Yes. Yep. So that'd be a lot of fun because we've had some pretty interesting movies to see this
You
year.
have had some, because you guys you took a deep dive a couple of times too, where it was just like you were going back in time, and cool.
Yeah.
Eventually, I need to do my top 10.
And then Tuesday, the 9th, I'm going to get back with Kevin Lambert to do the Shimo Kaiju Spotlight because I was not feeling well the other day. I try to do a Lone Wolf with Dub also for Chocolate. And then we haven't really done our Ghouls picks yet, I don't think. Although, actually, Tony did make his pick. And this is going to affect me and Olvin a little bit because we had initially wanted to do the same movie. So we'll probably end up doing 2 reviews. But Tony picked the new Silent Night, Deadly Night. So we're going to watch that for his pick. I haven't picked mine yet. But then,
the problem is I won't probably be able to go out to see it. I'll wait till it's on the one site, and then just watch it.
You can't go out to a theater?
Oh, I can. It's gonna. I don't know. It's a work week then. So
my theater ain't even getting that one.
Yeah, I don't even know.
They have 3 screenings for Wicked for Good, but not 1 screening for Sisu 2.
That's crazy.
Totally.
It's a good movie too.
Both of them were.
Well, anyway, we'll figure it out. Like if you can't watch it, then I'll pick a different pick for that. But Friday the 12th, Neko and I will do another Cultureverse mindset. I got a couple of nice videos to go through with her with that.
I can't wait.
And then eventually we're going to have a new Radar for Rom-Com for Dirty Dance. I just haven't set up the date yet. But also, but you're not doing the award shows live, are you?
No, sorry. I keep on thinking I am, but then we're going to get copyright or something if we did it that.
See, I don't know because it depends. Like I've seen other gamers like Asmongold do stuff live and react to it, so I don't know. It's hard to say.
I mean, I would say just stream it. Watch it on a StreamYard just to be the safe option because I think you can get.
You can watch it and react to it without having to have it on stream.
Yeah.
Well,
but,
I know
since Anubis and maybe John are going to be there and Geek and Brony. I definitely don't want to do it live because I'm afraid if we do,
what?
Just like the copyright strikes and getting taken down.
Well, for one, you won't get if you streamed it. Okay, this is what happens. You have to think about this. This is what happens. if you start streaming it, they're just going to shut you down. You're not going to get hit with a strike. You
Mhm.
only get hit with a strike if you were to come right back and try to restream it again. Then they would hit you with the strike. The reason why I got a strike is because when Neko and I were doing our albums of the year last time, we did it live. So what happened was they hit me with they shut down my first video that was copyrighted. They took it away.
Because of the music, correct?
Yes. So I was okay at that point. The problem is because we were live, I then played another video that was against the rules. And that's when they hit me with my warning and basically hit me with the strike. If you were to stream the gaming awards and you have people reacting to it, you're basically changing the content. Now, obviously, if the company that's running the show, the award show, if they say they don't want people streaming it, well, YouTube will just shut you down. They'll shut it off. Like you won't be able to stream it. People that are in the chat would see that it's just a blank screen. So I wouldn't really sweat it. I mean, you don't have to do it live, but I wouldn't sweat it if like you decided to do it live, because at worst, they're just going to shut you down on the live stream. You can still, with the group behind the scenes, watch it, but you just wouldn't be able to live stream it at that point. But I'm not really convinced they're going to shut you down for that, because like I said, there's a tons of like gamers and streamers that do this and they react to those things all the time.
Yeah, you can have like a little up in the corner thing and you could be reacting to it. I also know like with every Sunday with football, there's a lot of people who react to football and stream.
Yeah,
live.
I agree, John, what you're saying. Sorry, I cut you off there.
No, it's okay.
Uh-huh. Yes, I'll try. Yeah, we'll see. We'll do it that way.
So when is the gamer streamer? Tell us about it.
This is Thursday night. That
Cool.
is at I think it's at
7:30.
Yeah, 7:30 is the early start, and then 30 minutes after is when the actual awards. It's a pre-show at 7:30, and then 7:30 for Anubis, 6:30 Central for me and John, and it's gonna be then you can do then the actual show is that time after 30 minutes after. So
Cool.
Was that all the upcoming content you had, Anubis? Sorry.
Yes. Yep.
You're right over there.
Okay. There we go. Let's start because I have the most still, surprisingly.
Upcoming.
For upcoming content, we have Spotlight Delight. That is, I need to get with Kevin for his to do him. Also on that list as well. I know I talked to you about Anthony. Whenever you get whoever, just get back with me on that and we can go from there. Because I've got Geek Set. I've got Anubis with Darth Maul. I've got Geek is doing Miles Morales, who he hasn't not as well known yet. So got to give some love to the newer Spider-Man characters. And then also we got Golden Bat with Geek. He's the first first tokusatsu hero. It was black and white, the movie. So that'll be something cool. And then also I have Jedi with Dirge. He's a bounty hunter that was in the Clone Wars. He's a pretty cool bike character. I also have Wolfie with either yeah. Okay. But then also I have Wolfie with possibly Werewolf by Night, He was in the Disney Plus special. I think that was Benicio del Toro's character in the special that was on Disney Plus, and then also Man-Thing is the other character that he chose to do. As for other stuff, I have a movie show eventually coming out called Popcorn Splash. That's my movie talk podcast show where I will go over all the big movie news from that week, and also I'll throw in a top 10. Henshin Highlight, Henshin Revolution are still coming together. I found a new outro theme. I've been finding a lot of non-copyright songs that I can get to put on stuff. So I'm going through that. So I found the outro for the Henshin Revolution. Henshin Revolution. It's going to start with me and Geek, and it's going to be over Android Kikaider.
Oh, cool.
Yes. So that's really something to look forward to. Then we haven't decided yet who we're doing Henshin Highlight over for our first episode. Let's Plays will also be on the channel. I'll be starting with AC2, Assassin's Creed 2. One of my favorite Assassin's Creed games that got me deep into the franchise with it. In the Ezio trilogy. That's the start of the Ezio trilogy. One of probably the most popular assassin in the Assassin's Creed universe. Also, I have me, Anubis, and Anthony is also going to be a part of this, but we are doing a new show that I came up with called Expedition Mythology. I wanted to delve into mythological movies and discuss and review stuff. I like history stuff, so I think the mythological stuff would be really cool to do on the channel because, like Anubis we gave examples last on our ranking video. Like we could delve into the Sinbad movies. We could do Clash of the Titans. We could do Jason and the Argonauts. Any Harryhausen stuff, basically. And I definitely want to cover the Odyssey on the channel as well. The new Odyssey that comes out next year from Nolan.
Oh, I didn't know that was coming out.
That's like his big project next year.
No, that's a big book.
And that's coming out in July. But I think that's all the stuff that I have announced. But yeah, so this is all okay. Also, all the channels are down below in the description to check out. Yeah. But this
silly.
Yeah, he's being silly like always. But this has been a Silver Screen Savants, episode 26 for E.T. Extra-Terrestrial 1982. Brown home.
Wait to you. Hold on, Anubis. I can't get to you. Hold on.
But make sure if you've never seen this movie, go check it out. It's a classic.
Yeah.
It's on Netflix to check out if you've never seen it.
Ouch.
But Silver Screen Savants will be back on Sunday with the Sea Biscuits also.
Sea Biscuits.
The horse?
Sea Gypsies. That's funny though. Because there is a horse named Sea Biscuit.
Yeah, Sea Biscuit.
Oh my god.
And a movie, Sea Biscuit.
But
oh my god, the Cedo.
Like a jet ski.
Silver Screen Savants will be back on Sunday with the Sea Gypsies. Which ouch.
Ouch. Ouch.
I had to put some comedy or something in for a minute there. But they will be back on Sunday. Until then, see you next time.
Later.
Oh, hold on. There we go.